A sign at this site identified it as the Gadsby lead-nickel mine. And when we got back and checking the old claim groups, it appears that this has the same description as the Constant Hope mine, which we previously had in our files. This is July 26, 2001. I'm looking down toward Trail Creek, down here in the very bottom. If I can zoom in a little, and we'll go down here after a while. You can see a building that was burnt during the fire. This may be HA0083, the Constant Hope prospect, but there was a sign down along the trail that called it the Gadsby lead-nickel mine. I'm standing up here on the slope, maybe 50, 70 feet above the trail, and I'm on this little waste dump. It's very small, about maybe 8-10 feet across at the most, about 4 feet wide, and it goes down the slope here about 8 feet. Then just up above me here, kind of to the, I believe it would be the northwest. I'll have to check the map, so I'm not too sure my direction right here. You can see another little waste dump, and it's slightly bigger. It's also caved as this one is. This is the little trough that goes up the slope, and I'll call this adit 1. That one's going to be adit 2, and it's just got a little trough as well. So not a very extensive working. It does kind of trickle down the slope here about 15 feet. It looks like up through the trees here I can possibly see some other dumps, although this burned slope in the granite kind of tends to look like that anyway. Then there are also supposed to be, we had 2 adits shown back around this little hill here in the gully that comes down right above those buildings. So I'm going to do a little walking around here and see if I can find them, and if I can find some more adits, I will get some more video. Also down here below me, on a little bench above the trail, is an old car body. Maybe it'll show right through the limbs of that burnt tree there. In any case, there's a lot of scrap metal down there, and we'll go down and take a look at a lot of that later. Well, this is still the Gadsby lead-nickel property, or whatever the old name might have been. And I went around further to the north, as it turned out it was, and I really didn't see any more dumps. What I thought might be were just some bare slopes. Probably exposed a lot more because of the fire. This is kind of the drainage that goes down to the burnt buildings. Can't really see them from here, but it comes on up, and there was supposed to be an adit down fairly low on here, and there's a very, very minor trough. I don't even know if this will show, but right there in the center is a little trough that goes down that way. That might have been a prospect, but couldn't really tell. However, up here a little further, where the gully kind of splits, there is a small waste dump here. Again, this is a very small prospect adit, and I can't see it too good from right here. It's just right behind those trees is a fairly sizable waste dump, much bigger than these other ones. So I'll go on up that way and get a little video on the way up, and then also some when I'm up there. Okay, this is the waste dump for adit 4 on the slope. I'm actually standing right on top of the waste dump for adit 3, this little small pile right here that I showed you just previously. And so you can see this one up here is fairly large compared to this one down here. So I'm going to go up there and see if that happens to be open. Okay, now down through on the slope there, you can see that small waste dump of adit 3 kind of coming out from under those trees. The gully goes on up, and then this is the waste dump for adit 4. can see that their claim marker, their PVC claim marker, didn't fare too well in the fire. This is a fairly sizable dump though. Do have an old wheelbarrow. Its rubber tire didn't fare too well either. You can see there. And the pick and shovel actually didn't burn. It's pretty surprising. You can see the notch here where the adit caved. I'm going to go up here. There may actually be a small opening. Get up here, take a closer look. No, she's completely caved right here, so probably wouldn't be too hard to dig all this out, but this is quite a ways up the slope, and there really isn't any trail up here. You kind of just have to work your way either up the side slopes over there or up the gully. And again, if I kind of look out, this direction is probably a little bright, but looking down here is a gully that goes on down, and then Trail Creek is right in the bottom of the drainage down here. I'll get some stills here, and then we'll go on down. We'll get a little video of the burnt buildings down there. Looks like they lost quite a bit of equipment and supplies, and I don't see anything else up the slope anywhere that really looks like another dump, so I'm not going to go up any higher. This is about as high as we had showed them on our maps. Now I've come back down from Adit 4. This is Trail Creek Trail. Excuse me. It comes up, goes on up the draw here. Goes on up the canyon. See a little bridge across there, and you can see the two burnt buildings. One looks like it might have been a shop. There's a lot of rail and other miscellaneous stuff in that, and I'll get down there and we'll look a little closer. And then this other one may have been more of a cabin, although there's quite a bit of junk and stuff in there too. Some propane tanks, axes, mauls, that sort of thing, all of which are burnt. And then apparently an outhouse back up here that also burnt. The car body is just off to the right over there, which would kind of be to the northwest. There are some trails going up this other side that go clear up the ridge and cut back that way, but I don't really see any prospects over there. So if they're related to the prospecting, why nothing shows over there, and we don't have anything that shows over there. So I'll go on down and we'll get a little closer look at some of the stuff that's down here, and then that'll pretty well wrap it up once I do that. Well, this is the one shed that's down along the creek that burnt. Again, you can see a lot of scrap metal, angle iron, that sort of thing, stovepipe. Just all kinds of scrap metal, at least it is now, all that is burnt. Some more stuff over there. About the only thing that really seems to have survived fairly well intact are these stock tanks. The water barrel there melted a little bit. See an axe head beyond that. And then in the upper building here, there's a wood stove kind of in underneath. Again, some kitchen utensils and pots and pans. These cast iron skillets are probably still in pretty good shape. Can't seem to hurt them. Propane tanks, pick heads. Geez, just all kinds of stuff here. Chairs that pretty well trashed. Another propane tank, a fairly large one back there. A couple coffee cups that survived, somebody pulled out. And just a lot of miscellaneous scrap metal, bed springs and an old bed. More stovepipe down over here. Buckets, barrels. Somewhere I'd found a rifle handle or a rifle butt before. I think it's right up here. So it looks like it might have been a little 22 rifle or something. And a hammer or fiberglass handle. It's pretty well gone. So really that's about all that's here. It's like they had a nice old drill bit in here that kind of took it, kind of bit the dust. And the barbecue grill actually seems to have survived in pretty good shape. And appropriately, it looks like somebody decided that their luck had run out.